Once upon a time, in a quiet forest, lived a crow named Cora. Unlike most crows, who were known for their shiny black feathers and loud caws, Cora was famous for something else: her cleverness. She was the smartest bird in the forest, and her sharp mind often got her out of tricky situations. One hot summer afternoon, Cora was flying high in the sky, searching for food and water. The sun beat down on her feathers, and the air was dry. She hadn't had a drink of water all day, and she was feeling very thirsty. As she flew over the forest, something caught her eye: a pitcher sitting by an old farmhouse. "Ah, that must have water in it," Cora thought, swooping down toward the pitcher. Her beak felt dry, and the thought of cool water made her flap her wings even faster. When she reached the pitcher, Cora hopped onto its edge and peered inside. There, at the bottom of the pitcher, was water. But there was a problem. The water level was too low for her to reach with her beak. No matter how hard she tried, the water was just out of her grasp. Cora tilted her head and thought, "This is a tricky problem. How can I drink the water if I can't reach it?" She hopped around the pitcher, inspecting it from all sides. She thought about tipping the pitcher over, but it was too heavy for her small body to move. Frustrated but determined, Cora decided to sit down and think. As she sat, she noticed small pebbles scattered around the ground near the pitcher. Suddenly, an idea popped into her mind. "I wonder, if I drop these pebbles into the water, maybe the water level will rise high enough for me to drink." Cora the crow was excited about her plan. She picked up the first pebble with her beak and flew to the top of the pitcher. Carefully, she dropped the pebble into the water with a little plop. The water rippled, but it didn't seem to rise much. One pebble isn't enough, Cora realized. I'll need more. Undeterred, she went back to the ground, picked up another pebble, and dropped it into the pitcher. Then she grabbed another, and another, and another. With each pebble she dropped, the water level slowly began to rise. Cora was determined. Though the sun was hot and her wings were tired, she didn't give up. She gathered pebble after pebble, flying back and forth between the ground and the pitcher. Slowly but surely, the water inched higher. Finally, after what felt like hours, the water level was high enough for Cora to reach it with her beak. She leaned over the edge of the pitcher and took a long, refreshing drink of the cool water. That's much better, Cora the crow said, wiping her beak on her wing. As she rested by the pitcher, satisfied with her success, a few animals from the forest gathered around. A squirrel, a rabbit, and a bluebird had been watching Cora's efforts from the shade of a nearby tree. "That was amazing," the squirrel exclaimed. "I've never seen such a clever bird." "How did you come up with that idea?" asked the rabbit, hopping closer in curiosity. Cora smiled modestly. "I just used my brain and thought about the problem. Sometimes you don't need strength to solve things. You just need to think carefully and be patient." The bluebird fluttered its wings in excitement. "You must be the smartest bird in the whole forest, Cora," Cora chuckled. "I don't know about that, but I do enjoy a good challenge." As the animals chatted, they heard a rustling sound from the bushes. Out stepped a tall, proud peacock named Percy. He was known for being a little too full of himself, always showing off his beautiful feathers and boasting about how grand he was. Well, what do we have here?" Percy said, strutting over to the group. "I heard someone say Cora the crow was the cleverest bird, but surely everyone knows that I'm the most talented and intelligent animal in this forest." The squirrel and rabbit exchanged nervous glances, but Cora stayed calm. "Hello, Percy," she said politely. "I was just solving a little problem, that's all." "A problem, you say?" Percy puffed out his chest. "I'm sure I could have solved it much faster than you. After all, look at me. I'm not only smart, but also strong and graceful." The other animals rolled their eyes. Percy was always bragging about himself, but Cora wasn't bothered. She knew that actions spoke louder than words. "Well, Percy," Cora the crow said with a smile, "there's still some water left in the pitcher if you're thirsty. Perhaps you'd like to try solving the problem in your own way." Percy looked at the pitcher, his confidence wavering for just a moment. He wasn't sure how to get the water out, but he didn't want to admit that. Instead, he shrugged and said, "Oh, I'm not thirsty, but I'm sure I would have figured it out in no time." Cora chuckled softly as Percy strutted away, pretending not to care. The other animals laughed too, but Cora didn't mind Percy's boasting. She knew that real cleverness wasn't about showing off. It was about using your brain to solve problems when they came your way. As the sun began to set, Cora the crow said goodbye to her friends and flew back to her nest, feeling proud of her accomplishment. She knew that she had learned an important lesson that day. Even the trickiest problems can be solved with patience, creativity, and determination. And from that day on, whenever Cora faced a challenge, she remembered the pitcher of water and the pebbles. No matter how difficult things seemed, she knew she could always find a way to overcome them, with a little cleverness and a lot of heart.